Hello there, and welcome to Star Wars 1000. Today I will be ranking directors who I feel should take on Star Wars. Now I'm only going to be talking about directors, and I will save writers and showrunners who I think should take on Star Wars for another video. Now these directors could take on Star Wars in any way, like they could make a movie or a TV show, whatever it could be. These are the directors I would like to see direct their own vision of a Star Wars project. Alright, on to the list. In the last spot, I have Sam Esmail. Now, the funny thing about Sam in Star Wars was he was rumored to be part of a Star Wars project, but it seems like nothing is happening with that at the moment, so I'm guessing it got canceled. I would still like him to do something with Star Wars, and if you guys don't know, Sam is the mastermind behind the TV series Mr. Robot, which is a show I love, and he directed many great episodes. Also, he's currently creating the show Metropolis, which sounds kind of interesting. It's taking place in the DC universe and it's supposed to be before Superman. I say give him like a movie or a TV series, and I feel he could do something very unique and interesting with Star Wars. If you've seen the show Mr. Robot, something very unique. I think he could bring that unique vision into the Star Wars universe as well, especially if he was rumored to be part of a Star Wars project. So I'm guessing Lucasfilm did trust him to do something with Star Wars at one point and maybe just got canceled for whatever reason, because Star Wars projects gets cancels for whatever. So yeah, I would like to see Sam Esmail take on a Star Wars project, and I think it could be something very interesting. Alright, I know many people will be like, what the hell, why is Jim from The Office on this list? But hear me out, because I have a good case to be made as to why I would like to see John Krasinski take on Star Wars. First of all, John Krasinski is a great director and writer. I don't care what anyone says. I freaking loved A Quiet Place 1 and 2, especially A Quiet Place Part 2, which is one of my all-time favorite films. It seems like he could do something very unique, and he is great at adding the theme of family into his two movies, which is a very big theme in Star Wars. I think he could do such a great scary Star Wars movie, but I don't think he should even do that. I think he could make a non-scary Star Wars movie and the movie in general be great, and he would kick ass at making one. Now, I feel with John Krasinski, he should make a story that is not in the Skywalker saga, but I would love to see his vision in a new era so he doesn't have to really worry about the story now fitting into the timeline of the Skywalker saga, so he won't be restricted. And I would like to see what he could do with all brand new characters that he creates. I would want to put John higher on this list, but I feel like the people up next are more proven as directors, and I feel like some of them know more about Star Wars or are possibly fans as well. I'm not saying you have to be a fan to make a Star Wars project, but I feel like some of the people up next, if you are a Star Wars fan, that's bonus points in my book. And I'm not really sure how big of a Star Wars fan John Krasinski is, which doesn't really matter to me, like I said. But it does give some of the directors up next some more bonus points. With that all being said, John Krasinski is someone I would really like to see take on Star Wars one day. Up next, I have the Russo brothers. Now, apparently the Russo brothers are Star Wars fans, and that gives anyone on this list bonus points in my book. Not saying you have to love Star Wars and know every little detail about Star Wars to make a Star Wars project, but I think it's cooler when you have a fan of Star Wars working on Star Wars, in my opinion. Anyway, I would like to see them work on a big project, maybe even give them a trilogy or a TV series to work on. Not sure what the story they want to tell would be, but I love the Russos. They are in my top 10 favorite directors of all time. Like, how the hell did they make Endgame, which is such a big movie with such a big cast, and how did they make it all work? Like, they're incredible. It would be great to see what kind of Star Wars project they could make. All I have to say when talking about Drew Goddard is he made Daredevil. Enough said. Like, seriously, Daredevil is my fourth favorite TV series of all time, and he helped write the show. Plus, he was a creator of the series. Also, he's done other things, like he directed the movie Bad Times at the El Royale, which is a movie I liked, and he wrote the screenplay to The Martian, which was a Matt Damon movie directed by Ridley Scott, but he still has writing. He did the screenplay and was a big part of making that film. I have heard him talk positively about Star Wars in the past, but I'm not sure how big of a Star Wars fan he really is. But like I said before, it doesn't really matter to me, like how big of a Star Wars fan or if you're a Star Wars fan at all. As long as the director hasn't gone out there and says they hate Star Wars and hate everything about it, then it's fine in my book. If they don't say they hate it and they have some sort of appreciation to what Star Wars has brought to cinema, then I feel like, yeah, I feel like they could make a Star Wars project. Drew is someone who can make whatever he wanted as long as it fits into the Star Wars continuity, of course. And like I said before, I'd be down. I think it could make something very cool. Up next, I have James Mangold. Now, with James Mangold, I have liked every movie he has made, so he has a good track record in my book. Probably my favorite movie he's ever made was Logan from 2017, the third Wolverine movie. Mangold was rumored to be working on a Star Wars project as well, but I haven't heard anything about him working on something in Star Wars since like 2017, 2018, so I'm guessing the project got canceled, unfortunately. I feel he has a good track record and has made good to great movies, in my opinion. He's also working on Indiana Jones 5, which I'm very excited about, so it seems Lucasfilm and James Mangold have a good relationship. So I would honestly give him a trilogy or a set of films to tell his vision of a Star Wars story, and I feel he could do a great job, as to me, he has never made a bad film. Matt Reeves would be great for a Star Wars film. Great story, great images, action scenes to develop the story. I think whatever Matt Reeves would want to do with Star Wars, I am down. He's another director who seems to like Star Wars, which is awesome. I'm not sure what kind of movie he would want to make, but I'm sure it would be something worth watching. I feel his style would make a great Star Wars film, and it would be very artistic type of film and very detailed. I would love Matt Reeves to make a Star Wars movie or a set of Star Wars movies. Matt Reeves also seems to be the type of director who likes to make his own lore and set up a new universe, like he did with the Planet of the Apes movies, and as he's currently doing with the Batman and his trilogy. So maybe he could create a new era in Star Wars, like maybe the Old Republic an era movie, or the creation of the Jedi era, or whatever. I don't know what he would want to do with Star Wars exactly, but whatever he would want to do, I think he would want to create a new era instead of working in the restrictions of the Skywalker saga timeline. Ah yes, Christopher Nolan, probably the most famous director on this list. Did you know the original trilogy inspired Christopher Nolan to become a director, and he joined the film industry due to his inspiration from those movies? Like, without Star Wars, there might not have been a Christopher Nolan. Like, those are two realities I would hate to live in. Obviously, Christopher Nolan is a fan of Star Wars if he was inspired to become a filmmaker because of it, and he seems to be friends with George Lucas, so that's pretty cool as well. So I don't see why he wouldn't want to make a Star Wars film. I'd give Christopher Nolan full creative control to do whatever he wants to do with Star Wars. Like, the guy's a freaking genius in my opinion. I also love how he uses a lot of practical effects in his work instead of making everything CGI. Like, I will forever be on the side that practical and real effects is better than CGI, and I prefer movies with real locations and backgrounds and real effects. Like, to me, that I just like that more. Like, if you guys saw the Top Gun Maverick movie, like, it was awesome because it was real. Like, they were actually flying in the airplanes. Like, if those planes and jets were CGI, it wouldn't have felt the same to me. So I'm always on the side that practical effects is better for filmmaking, in my opinion. The reason why Nolan isn't higher on this list is because I feel these next few directors on my list are guys I feel could do something very unique with Star Wars. And yes, I know I gave so much praise to Nolan, but I feel the directors in my top 3 could make a more interesting Star Wars film to me. But Nolan needs to make a Star Wars film. Like, I would be so excited if they announced he was making something Star Wars. Like, that would be great news. Kicking off my top 3, I have Christopher Columbus. Now, we all know the kind of films Christopher Columbus makes if you have seen his movies. Probably his most well-known films are the first 2 Home Alone movies, the first 2 Harry Potter movies, Mrs. Doubtfire, but he's made so many great movies as well, like other movies besides those. So why would I put Christopher Columbus on this list, and why is he so high up? Well, that's because I feel he makes magic. It's hard to explain. Like, I feel this sense of calm, magical feeling in his movies. Mainly, I feel this in Harry Potter movies, but I feel a sense of like a magic feeling in almost all of his films. He makes the type of movies that can feel uplifting, hopeful, and it has a sense of magicalness in his movies. I would love to have a Star Wars movie to feel so magical again. Don't get me wrong, I love all of the different genres and tones Star Wars has dived into over the years, but it would be nice to get the magical fantasy adventure back into Star Wars, which was what the originals are mainly like. It would probably feel kid friendly, but I really don't care, honestly. I love when Star Wars goes really dark, but doesn't always have to be super dark. Like I said, Star Wars has had many different tones over the years. Now that doesn't mean go overly kid friendly and make a story with teddy bears aka like they did in the Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks, but you guys get what I mean. I think a Christopher Columbus style Star Wars movie would be great to see. Alright, so in my second spot, I have Matthew Vaughn. If you guys don't know, Matthew Vaughn is a Star Wars super fan, so why the hell haven't they given him a Star Wars project already? This guy is dying to make a Star Wars film, and I'm sure he would make a damn good Star Wars film as well. Or a really good Star Wars TV series. It sounds like he knows a lot about Star Wars, so I'd give him anything he wants. I like a lot about Matthew Vaughn's movies. I like his style a lot, and I'm not sure what kind of Star Wars film he'd want to do exactly, but if the guy is a Star Wars super fan and he's a good director with a good track record, then give him something to work on. Like, why the heck hasn't he gotten something to do yet? It would be a shame if Matthew Vaughn never got to work on a Star Wars project, and I really hope one day he will get an opportunity to do so. So the director I want to see take on Star Wars the most is Vince Gilligan. If you guys do not know what Vince Gilligan is most famous for, then you're really missing out, because Vince Gilligan is the genius behind Breaking Bad, and he did a lot of work on Better Call Saul as well. But Peter Gould deserves more of the credit for Better Call Saul because he worked on that show a lot more than Vince did, but I'm getting sidetracked. If you guys have seen the way Vince makes his shows and movie, because he did make a Breaking Bad movie that was great as well in every way, shape, and form. Also, Vince is another director who was inspired by the original trilogy, which is just amazing. Get the director to do something with Star Wars, please, Lucasfilm. Get the whole Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul teams and do something with them. Like, I think they could make the best Star Wars project ever. They make masterpieces, and maybe I want Vince the most right now because I just got done watching that Better Call Saul series finale, which was a masterpiece on every way, shape, and form. And it seems their writing just gets better and better. Vince Gilligan has showed to be a great director, and just he's great at everything when it comes to film. Like, he turned the concept of Breaking Bad, which kind of sounds bizarre on paper when you think about it, like a school teacher turned into this king of the drug empire. Like, how the heck did he turn that concept into one of the best shows ever made? I really want Vince Gilligan on a Star Wars project immediately, and hopefully they can bring the entire team from the shows as well along with them so they can make a masterpiece of the Star Wars project. But Vince Gilligan is the director I would like to see take on Star Wars the most. I feel there are some more directors I feel could take on Star Wars as well, but I'm just keeping to this amount for now. Who do you guys want to see take on Star Wars? Also, I'm sure our opinions on who should direct Star Wars are all very different and unique. It would be cool if one of these guys on my list could take on Star Wars one day, in my opinion. So to wrap up the video, may the Force be with you always.